Okay, part two. Outside of romantic relationships and marriages, this aspect can reveal itself as in always needing to have a business partner in order to generate wealth and financial abundance in your own life. When we see Jupiter conjuncting the moon, that tends to mean the spiritual lesson or the cross that you're bearing is this idea of, oh my gosh, I always have to have somebody else right here working with me, generating the ideas in order for me to have financial stability in my life. It takes away from your ability to be autonomous, to self-generate wealth, and it puts you in a greater state of dependency. What's interesting is that you and Dad both share that trait, which may be, I don't know, why you were brought together. So you were supposed to learn about that together, maybe start a business together. But it's, this is something that will play itself out either through marriage and romantic relationships or through business partnerships. The upside to this trait is that Jupiter conjuncting the moon lends itself to fantastic real estate instincts, and I think Dad has really used this aspect to his benefit. It's the ability to always make good investments where houses are concerned, to really be able to profit from real estate and to just really make good decisions in that regard. Emotionally, this can be a difficult aspect because it takes away from your ability to self-stabilize feelings on your own. It creates the idea that, oh, I always have to have somebody right here in order to feel good about myself. I need somebody else right here in order to have a sense of, what do I want to say, personal security. I guess that's probably the best word for it. So because of that emotional need to always have somebody there, people with this Jupiter moon aspect, they tend to stay in relationships longer than they really should because they don't want to be alone. So there's also the tendency here to become involved in serial monogamy. And people who have Jupiter moon aspects tend to marry and divorce very frequently. I read one astrology book where the woman said that it was not uncommon for people with Jupiter moon conjunctions to even marry upwards of 6 times, because with this conjunction, the upside to it is it makes it very, very easy for you to get involved in romantic relationships. There's a very powerful attractor here that seems to just always bring somebody into your life to you. Downside to it is that there's this cyclical nature for the relationships. There's this, okay, well, I'll be in this relationship for this long, then I'll divorce and move on to this one, and then it just kind of cycles through like this. The reason for that is that when Jupiter conjuncts the moon, there's this desire to experience spiritual expansion through the relationship itself. Basically, it puts you in this situation of needing a partner to create a mental model of the universe. It's needing a partner to understand spirituality, to walk a spiritual path. In fact, a relationship based on spirituality is something that would very much appeal to you, somebody who shares your spiritual walk, your religious belief systems. Marrying a minister at one point in time is pretty much right on par with this type of aspect. In addition, Jupiter is what pushes us towards expansion. It's what creates this greater vision of our life. It's the path to the mountaintop. It's the desire to rush out and meet life with arms wide open. So when we see Jupiter conjuncting the moon, what's basically being said is that you need a partner to have these things. You need a partner to push you towards expansion. You need a partner to show you to the mountaintop, to give you a greater vision of your life. Now, unfortunately, that can create a sense of dependency in relationships because it really, creates an unequitable power distribution because you're so much in need of somebody else to do these things for you. On the other hand, it's on the birth chart, so it's the circumstance you were born into and what you were supposed to learn from. What we see here is it's like this, the universe is saying there's so much you need to learn from relationships. There's so much you need to learn about the right order of human relationships. you can't possibly just be in one. So you're going to need to have all these different relationships for these various different stages of your life. That is how you will learn the most. And so that's why we tend to see people with this aspect get married and divorced a lot, or have lots of different serial monogamous relationships. And it seems to just kind of be the natural order of things. The other thing about this aspect is that there's an obsession with education here. And it's because Jupiter is the planet of higher education. So when we see Jupiter conjuncting the moon, we see this need to be intellectually stimulated through our relationships. You need somebody to really challenge you and to push the boundaries of the mind. And if that's not present in a relationship, it'll likely end very quickly. So I guess that's it for now. I will move on to part 3.